So we are now here into late May on the season, and the Cincinnati Reds have been turning things around as they're looking like an actual good team now, sitting at 26 and 23 on the season, sitting at second place in the National League Central. But unfortunately, Logan Allen has not been great here in the big leagues. He has been struggling here. If he's going to stick here in the bigs for the rest of the season, gonna need to see some quality starts, some outings that aren't just totally awful. But if he does put up some bad starts, he is going to be sent down to AAA Louisville in place of Mitch Keller, who will be coming up to the big leagues to take his place if he does not start to turn things around, because Mitch Keller is a guy who has been shoving down in AAA this season. But as far as a couple pitchers who have been good for us this year, Hunter Greene has been phenomenal here early on in the season. Fourth most strikeouts in all of the National League, as well as the third highest WAR among pitchers. And then Lucas Sims has rebounded nicely from last season where he was not great at all. He had like 2 bad outings to start the season, and then he's just been pretty shut down ever since. Obviously, his ERA in the 4s isn't really that impressive, but it's very hard to rebound from like 1 or 2 bad outings as a reliever, which is why ERA isn't really the best number to look at for relievers. Well, on the hitting side of things, there's been J.D. Martinez, who has been hitting bombs here early in the season. Second most home runs in all the National League with 15 on the season. And then there's Tyler Stevenson, who has been hitting well for us as well, an 821 OPS. Good to see him finally starting to rake here, doing what we would want him to do at the plate. And we are about to take on the San Francisco Giants, so let's take a look at what their roster looks like. There are a few new names on there. Guys like Clayton Kershaw, Jameson Taillon, and Eduardo Escobar have joined this team. They have a very, very solid 1 through 4 in their rotation. Extremely good. Their 5th is Alex Wood. Perfectly fine 5th starter. And then if you take a look at their lineups, lots of new names on there. The guys who have been in the system and guys who have been brought on to play roles. Guys like Eduardo Escobar, who I said, Randall Grichuk's on this team, C.J. Abrams, who they've traded for, J.J. Bleday, who they've traded for, Austin Nola, who they've traded for, Rougned Odor is on the team as well, and so is Miguel Sano as their first baseman. Here at Great American Ballpark, the Cincinnati Reds are going to be playing host to the San Francisco Giants, and toeing the slabs for the Redlegs on the day is the left-hander Logan Allen, making his 10th start of the season. Looking to start to string together a few good outings here for the Reds. Take a look at the Giants lineup 1-9, as well as the Reds lineup 1-9 as well. We'll start things off top half of the first, where Logan Allen had the ground ball working. Ground ball out to shortstop De La Cruz, playing there on the day, makes the easy play. Next batter up is Austin Slater. He goes down chasing a circle change for out number 2. And then it brings up Wilmer Flores, and he's going to chop one at the shortstop. Easy play for Ellie De La Cruz. 1-2-3 inning for Logan Allen. Move things on top of the third. It's going to be a chopper against the shift here. And Brian Anderson from the outfield dirt. A fire over to first, and then a nice little scoop there to keep him in front of him by Pavin Smith over at first base. So scoreless top of the third, and then in the bottom of the third, it's C.J. Abrams making a great defensive play for the Giants. Take a look at the replay on this one. Joe Adell, very fast runner here. So Abrams, extremely impressive play there to get the fleet-footed Adell at first base. And then later on in the inning, it would be Robbie Grossman getting a hanging curveball that he somehow just hits up to right center field for a pop-up. So move things on top of the fourth now. It's Wilmer Flores grounding out once again. Pavin Smith will step on the bag himself. And then in the bottom half of the fourth, it is J.D. Martinez coming up to the dish, and the Reds' bats start to come alive here as he hits a 2-out double to keep the inning alive and get a runner into scoring position. But unfortunately, Jonathan India would then just fly out to right field. Has nothing going in the inning. But move things on to the bottom of the sixth, and the Reds get their bats going once again. This time Grossman connects on a pitch, and he's going to hit one into the right center field gap. Leadoff double for him. Next batter up is Brian Anderson, who hits a line drive right back up the middle. It's caught by the second baseman Odor, and somehow Grossman gets back into second base safely. So still runner on second. Tyler Stevenson, ground ball up the middle. That'll move over the runner. Now there's two 2 down in the inning, and J.D. Martinez delivers again. His second extra base hit of the game. This one goes over the left field fence, as it's now a 2-0 lead here for Cincinnati. 16th home run of the season puts him tied among the league leaders for the most home runs in the National League. Move things on, top of the 7th, where Austin Slater draws a walk. That's actually the first base runner of the entire game for the Giants, but then the next batter up would be Flores, who grounds into a 6-4-3 double play. But then at the top of the 8th, the Giants get their first hit of the entire game. Loses the no-hitter, Logan Allen does, in the 8th inning to a base knock from Randall Grichuk, and then gives up another one. So back-to-back hits here. First and second, 2 outs. Fly out to right field from Flores as the Reds do get out of the inning. So 2-0, take it into the top of the 9th, and it is Rougned Odor hitting a ball into left center field. That's going to get up against the wall, a 2-bagger to lead off the inning for the Giants, and that will end Logan Allen's day. He will no longer get a chance for the complete game shutout. It's Lucas Sims on to close things out, and he would do just that as he gets Wilmer Flores to commit another out, as he's done all game long. And he flies out to end this game as Logan Allen pitches an absolute gem here at Great American Ballpark and beats the Giants by a score of 2-0 thanks to J.D. Martinez's 2-run home run. Like I said, Allen, fantastic pitching performance, 8 innings strong, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and no earned runs. He was player of the game. And then you had J.D. Martinez, who went 2 for 2 on the day with a home run, a double, and then also walked twice. And then Lucas Sims continues to be solid at the back end of the bullpen, picks up his 17th save here in the 2024 campaign. Now, just in case you didn't think we got enough snakes last episode, it's time to take on the D-backs in Arizona as the Reds travel out west. Take a look at their lineup on the day listed 1-2-9. We'll start things off top half of the first inning with the South Jersey man Zach Gallen on the hill, and he's going to be giving up a 2-out extra base hit here to Tyler Stevenson as that one lands fair and gets up into the corner. So he's in a scoring position, brings up J.D. Martinez, spits on a pitch for ball 4, and that's going to be first and second now for the Reds. Then a drop third strike here to Jonathan India, gets to the backstop, and he's able to beat it out to first base. So bases are drunk here for Cincinnati, and it's Pavin Smith against his former team, who gets a pitch right down the middle and somehow just pops it up the center field. So nothing going for the Reds there. Tyler Mahle on the hill here for the in the bottom of the first for the Reds, gets a ground out from Dominic Fletcher for out number 1, and then it would be a chopper over to first base by Hernandez, and then you guessed it, the third out of the inning, Ketel Marte, chopper over to first base. 3 straight ground balls over to Pavin Smith of his former team, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Mahle. Move things on top of the second. Elly De La Cruz chops one up the middle. He's got speed, and he beats it as Ryan Bliss cannot make the play at first, and then De La Cruz hit and run is on. A ball gets into the outfield. De La Cruz goes first to third as it's a single for Merced. He then proceeds to go and swipe second base and get 2 runners here into scoring position with nobody out in the inning, and Taylor Walls grounds one out to shortstop. Nice play from Bliss to get Walls at first, but a run does come in to make it a 1-0 lead for the Reds. And then a ball would get past the catcher and allow Merced to score from third base. So now with a 2-0 lead, Brian Anderson at the dish, and he's just going to pop this one up to the first baseman for out number 3, but 2 runs do come across for Cincinnati. Move things on top of the third here. J.D. Martinez powers one to deep center field, but it's not going to be enough. Caught right at the wall by Alek Thomas, but then with 2 outs, Jonathan India does deliver, gets a pitch right in the wheelhouse, and he pisses on it to left center field. That one is out of here. A solo shot makes it a 3-0 lead now here for Cincinnati. Move things on bottom of the third, where Mahle continues to dominate here in this outing. He strikes out Alek Thomas, Next batter up is Aledmys Diaz, and he goes down swinging on the changeup in the dirt. And then for the final out of the inning, it would be Ryan Bliss, the shortstop, grounding out to his own position as Taylor Walls has an easy play. So 1-2-3 inning for Malley. Bottom of the fourth, another scoreless frame as he strikes out Grandal to end that inning. Move things on, bottom of the sixth now, where the D-backs do start to get some hits here, as almost a diving play from Grossman in left field, but instead a base knock for Hernandez. A couple batters later, his next batter is Ketel Marte. He singles, and then he's also going to move up to second on the poor throw here. Just a weak throw to third allows runners to move up into second and third. Tyler Malley is now out of the game. Ryan Weathers comes in out of the bullpen now, the left-hander, facing Yasmani Grandal, hits a ground ball at the second base, and it's only going to be scoring one run. So now two outs in the inning, and then Weathers gets the strikeout on Nico Goodrum. So only one run comes in. Weathers gets out of it with minimal damage. 3-1 ball game here, top of the seventh. Adrian Merced singling up the middle for the Reds, and then he would proceed to go and try to swipe second base, but instead Walls gets a little bit BABIP there as he grounds one right to a fielder, and then also getting BABIP is Robbie Grossman. Hits a line drive that's caught by the second baseman Marte. Merced goes and swipes third base, getting aggressive there, fourth on the season, and then Brian Anderson chops one up the middle. That'll get through the infield and make it a 4-1 lead here for Cincinnati. They would take that lead into the ninth inning, where Lucas Sims comes on looking for the save, and he would get just that as he gets a pop-up from Nico Goodrum into right field, as the Reds win this game as well by a score of 4-1 here on the road in Arizona. Tyler Malley and the boys get it done. He was your player of the game here today. 5 1/3 innings pitched, only gave up 3 hits, struck out 6 snakes, only gave up one walk and 1 run on the day. Jonathan India homered for the offense. Tyler Stevenson had 2 doubles. Adrian Merced had 2 singles. And then you also had Lucas Sims, who continues to pile up the saves here. That's number 19 on the year. And now before we move on here to the next game, we will be taking a look at a couple things. First one being the 2024 amateur draft, as the Reds had the number 7 overall pick this season, and with that draft selection, they took right-handed pitcher James Ono. They also took Alfonso Valdez, outfielder, 22 years old, 21-year-old relief pitcher Andy Walker, right-hander, and then another right-hander in Harvey Floyd, then a couple outfielders in Charles DeLuca, and then Johnny Russell, both 21 years old, and then rounded things out with a 22-year-old right-handed pitcher by the name of Jackie Lenskow. All of these guys were signed to contracts aside from Johnny Russell, who was a guy we just did not have any scouting on. We took a flyer on. He turned out not to be worth it, so we just did not give him a contract. But the rest of these guys have been signed, and you will either be seeing in prospect profiles or a future minor league update video. As you guessed it, we are now here into early June, as we are about to take on the Philadelphia Phillies, but before we do that, there is a few updates we have to do. So Logan Allen, unfortunately, despite having that great game against the Giants, his 2 starts after that one was not great at all. So he is going to be being sent down to AAA Louisville, and coming up from the Louisville Bats to take his place will be Mitch Keller. And then just some stat updates here. Jonathan India has unfortunately been struggling. 721 OPS, a very bad 309 OBP. Don't like to see that whatsoever. Taylor Walls, though, has been impressive. He's actually hitting this season, has his OPS up into a very respectable 767, and a very solid 359 OBP as well, which is what we expect to see from him, and his very high plate discipline. And then Ellie De La Cruz has been fantastic since coming up from AAA. 902 OPS and 85 ABs, already 7 stolen bases as well. And then there's Adrian Merced, who has been heating up as well. Not hitting for power, but he is hitting well with the batting average and the OBP at 270 and 365, respectively. And then there's also Pavin Smith, who has continued his hot hitting from AAA, 942 up here in the bigs in the OPS category in 57 big league ABs. So then if we take a look at the Philadelphia Phillies roster, there are a couple new names on there. Guys like Tim Anderson and Harrison Bader have been added to this squad. They finally went out and fixed their "we have a no center fielder" issue by going out and signing the center fielder guy in Harrison Bader and taking him away from the Cardinals. They also brought back John Birdie to be a utility guy for another season. But really the main issue with this team is their pitching. They really haven't done much to improve that, as they still have Wheeler and Suarez as the 1-2, but after that it's not great. Hans Kraft is a good prospect, but then Drew Smyly and Trevor Williams should definitely not be their 4-5, especially because they have guys like Mick Abel and Andrew Painter to a potential basically same overall, will be better overall in like a month starters than both Trevor Williams and Drew Smyly. So if it was me, those guys would be in the rotation and not the other two. And now the Reds are going to hit the road here to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, to take on the Phillies in a little throwback uni matchup. Reds wearing their 80s and also the Phillies wearing their baby blue unis. Take a look at the Reds lineup on the day, 1-2-9. Here in the top of the first, Hans Kraft on the hill, giving up a single to Tyler Stevenson here or a double to Tyler Stevenson here with 2 outs in the end to keep it alive. And then once he gets into second base, he gives a little horns up here. Hook 'em horns, baby. Definitely not just saying he hit a double. So he's on second base, and then J.D. Martinez lines one into center field on the ground. Stevenson going to test the arm of Harrison Bader, and why do we keep doing that? Stevenson gunned at the dish. No runs in the inning for the Reds, and we move things on to the bottom half of the first, where Nick Lodolo is pitching, and Mr. Ground Ball, adding a new wrinkle into his game here, strikes out Tim Anderson to start the game, and then with a runner on first for the second out, it would be Nick Castellanos going down swinging, and then the third strikeout of the inning. Kyle Schwarber chases the slider, 3 Ks in the inning for Nick Lodolo. We want to move things on to the top of the second, where Pavin Smith absolutely pisses on a ball into center field. That's going to get in for a base knock, so he's on first. And then with Ellie De La Cruz, he spits on ball 4. He'll take a walk, so it's first and second now with 1 out. Here for the Redlegs, brings up Adrian Merced, who tattoos one into left field, but it's going to be caught by Castellanos for out number 2. And then Taylor Walls delivers with a ground ball that gets through the infield. That'll score Pavin Smith and make it a 1-0 lead here for Cincinnati. Runners on the corners here with 2 outs, as Taylor Walls then makes it second and third as he proceeds to swipe second base, his 8th of the season. And then Robbie Grossman proceeds to go gapping here with 2 runners in scoring position as Grossman hits a 2-bagger here, and it's going to be a 3-0 lead now for the Redlegs as they move it into the bottom of the second, where Nick Lodolo kept it working. He strikes out Bryce Harper, and then to end the inning, strikes out JT Realmuto with the up-and-in fastball, blows the fuzz right by him. Move things on bottom of the third now to start off the inning. It's Harrison Bader chasing the changeup, whiffing right through it. 1 down in the inning. Next batter up, Tim Anderson. Back to the top half of the order, gets the slider whiffed right through that one. And then Lodolo works the 1-2-3 inning by getting Alec Boehm to pop up into shallow center field, where India will make the play to end the third inning. Now on to the fifth, where the Phillies do start to get some hits here, as Gene Segura goes down the left field line into the corner. That's going to be an easy 2-bagger for him to kick off the inning. Brings up Bryce Harper, who then goes into center field, lands in front of Merced, so now first and second here with nobody out for the Phillies. Brings up JT Realmuto, who flies one into right field. Anderson makes the catch on the run. Runner from second, and Segura tags up, so now it's runners on the corners here with 1 out. And Harrison Bader grounds one through the infield. That'll score a run for the Phillies. They get on the board, make it a 3-1 ball game, but then Tim Anderson grounds one over to Wall. It's a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. So Lodolo gets out of it, move things on into the top of the 7th for Bailey Falter on the hill for the Phils. And he's facing Adrian Merced, who's going to slap one out into right center field. That's going to get down into the gap, and Merced's fleet feet has himself a double. So he's in scoring position, brings up Taylor Walls, and he rips a ball into center field. That'll score Merced easily from second base with his speed. It's an RBI RBI single for Taylor Walls makes it a 4-1 lead now here for Cincinnati. We move things on into the bottom of the 8th where TJ Antone enters the game here for Cincinnati. And with 2 outs in the inning, Tim Anderson connects on a pitch. This one's going to go into the left field seats. So the Phillies do cut the lead in half down to 4-2 here in the 8th. But then Antone would proceed to get out of the inning after Anderson takes that sinker that does not sink into the seats. Makes it a 4-2 game. Lucas Sims comes out of the 9th looking for the save. And first batter up, Kyle Schwarber draws a walk. Could this be a not great Lucas Sims outing? Next batter up, Hoskins also draws a walk, and then it would bring up, or John Birdie came on to pinch run over at second base, and then it would bring up Gene Segura, who lays down a bunt, and this one's just going to get everybody, or it's only going to get the runner at second as De La Cruz goes to second with it. So now it's runners on the corners here. Lucas Sims' day is over. Andrew Chafin, the sheriff, comes in out of the bullpen. And with runners on the corners, he would proceed to work a pop fly into center field. Adrian Merced puts it away for out number 2, but the runner from third easily tags up in Birdie. Makes it a 4-3 game. So the winning run at the plate is JT Realmuto, but he just grounds out to Ellie De La Cruz, and the Reds hold on here in the 9th inning as they win this game by a score of 4-3 here on the road in the throwback jersey matchup over the Philadelphia Phillies. Player of the game honors goes to Nick Lodolo on the day. He pitched very strong, 7 innings, only gave up 5 hits, struck out 8 batters, walked none of them, only gave up 1 run. He's basically turning into this series version of Colby Allard. Taylor Walls, very good at the plate once again, 2 for 3 with 2 runs driven in. Robbie Grossman had a 2-run double. Stevenson and Martinez both went 2 for 4 on the day. Gene Segura had 2 doubles, and Tim Anderson had a home run, but it was not enough for the Phillies, as the Reds do hold on and win it 4-3. So with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Cincinnati Reds franchise here on MLB The Show 22. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I am saying I have nothing to say in the outro because there is nothing rattling around in my brain today.